Hey everyone, Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler here with another end of the month what sold on eBay video. Real quick, definitely go down there and make sure that if you were a previous subscriber that you are still subscribed. YouTube did a purge a week or two ago and some people have been unsubscribed to many channels. So if you are subscribed to my channel, definitely go and make sure that the subscribe button is clicked and the bell is clicked if you had both of those options clicked, just as a courtesy. And also go check out your other favorite YouTubers that you watch all the time and make sure that you're still subscribed to them also. So for those that are new to the channel, I'm Chris, Thrift Shop Hustler. We're going to go over the top 10 things sold in the end of the month. So these are going to be from number 10 to number 1. The highest price thing that we sold will be the number 1 item. So you definitely want to stay tuned to see what that is. We had an amazing month, one of our best months we had. So we're going to get right into it. This was for the month of December 2019. And I hope everyone is going to be having a happy new year. And definitely stay tuned. We're going to do a top 10 items sold for the year. This will be the first time we're going to be doing that. So definitely subscribe. Click the like button right now if you like these videos. That definitely helps. And also leave any kind of comment below. Just wish anyone Happy New Year. I wish you a Happy New Year. If you want to wish me a Happy New Year, definitely leave that in the comments below. The likes and the comments do help the algorithm so other people can get some knowledge with these videos. So let's get right into it. First up, we have this new without tags. This is a vintage Johann Becker Crystal Rhinestones evening bag. This is a clutch. And as you can see here, this thing is beautiful. This sold for a total of $277.65. We did take a best offer on this one, as you can see here. This is an amazing sale from Paula in Stockton. So good job, Paula, finding this and listing it. And this is an amazing evening bag clutch. As you can see here, it's something that you can hold in your hand. Small little rhinestone purse. Pretty amazing. So that is number 10. Number 9 comes to us from our first scarf. We sold a ton of scarves this month. So listing all of our high-end scarves really did well this month. That's really pushed us over the top for our goals. And if you are a Patreon, we did do the top 10 scarves sold in 2019 in our shop. So you definitely want to go check that out if you're a Patreon subscriber. But this is number 9. This sold for a total of $288.76, as we can see there. Alexander McQueen, some of you might not have heard of this brand. It is an amazing bolo brand, especially in the fashion world. This is what the logo looks like. It is a Q with a little C in the center. As we can see here, this thing is like a kaleidoscope with skulls. Alexander McQueen is known for all these crazy like skulls. It almost looks like a pattern until you really look close, and you can really see the shape of the skulls right in there. And these are very popular designs right now. This is what it looks like on the mannequin, as we can see here. I think this one was a linen one. Yes, it was a linen. Linen has that kind of spacey thread-like rough thread feel. And I actually think this might have been a blend, as we can see here. Yeah, silk and linen. Anyways, this is a great sale here. And we did do bidding. We started this one at $99 and it ended up at $282 the day after Christmas. And in hindsight, we probably should have waited to the beginning of the year to list all these, just so that, all the holidays and things were out of the way, as, there might not be as many eyeballs on these particular items in there. So that is that. Number 8 comes to us from Randolph Brooks. This is a 1964 oil on board still life painting. As we can see here, this is what the back looks like, and it looks like someone tore the back open. As you can see here, there's another great sale from Paula. Just a pro tip: if you ever come across this kind of stuff, and the back's not ripped and you own this, feel free to tear the back open to see if there's any kind of information in the back. You never know what kind of things lie in there. We had some pretty great art sales this year, and when we do the top 10 items sold in 2019, there's going to be a few really high-end paintings that sold for over $1,000. So you definitely want to go down there and click the subscribe and the bell for notifications so that you get notified when a new video pops up. So this is actually a great sale. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this sold for a total of $309.99. Next up, we have our first Hermes scarf. We have a few of those down the line right now. We got a really good donation in with some crazy high-end stuff, and this was one of them. This was the Hermes shawl 55 by 53. This was kind of like an artist one, as you can see here. I think I took a photo of the artist's name in here. This actually did have some staining or some debris or whatever. It still sold for $305. We started all of our Hermes scarves at $99, and they all pretty much sold way higher than what we listed it at. I don't have the name. I thought I had the name. The name's on here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I did take a name right there. This is the artist name right here. And so usually Hermes will have the Hermes logo somewhere, or I should say it should say a printed Hermes with the copyright. And some of these artist ones will actually have the artist name, as we can see here. I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce that name. But anyways, we had this in two colorways. This was the first colorway, which was kind of like a grayish green color. Olive, I guess. There's the Hermes logo right there. And here's what the label looks like for anyone that doesn't know what it looks like. And it looks like there's a bit of damage right there in the top corner. And so this was cashmere. And did I put cashmere in the title? Yes, I did. You always want to do that. You always want to put cashmere in the title, especially if it's a cashmere item. Next up, we have another Hermes scarf. This one happens to be a silk one with the original box, as we can see here. I highly suggest, if you do find these scarves, to take pictures of them like this. Have someone hold it up that has the lengthwise. Some of these scarves are going to be almost impossible to picture like this unless you have someone that's tall that has a pretty good wingspan that can actually hold these up, especially when you get into the 76 by 36 ones, the basically rectangle ones. Hermes scarves, for the most part, are square. I don't recall one that is a rectangle that I can remember. This one actually happens to be upside down, and as you can see here, the print is upside down. So if this was flipped over, you can see, this is not only flipped upside down, this is or flipped backwards. This is actually kind of on its side too. This should be probably rotated 90 degrees to the left. And it did come with the box. This was, as you can see here, silk, 100%, made in France. This is what the box looked like. Even the box is actually made pretty well. And this sold for a total of $332.76. As a matter of fact, this was the wrong one, actually. This sold for $455.96. The one that sold before was $332. I already got mixed up. We're not even halfway through here. Number 5 of the list here is that same kind of pattern we talked about, Hermes scarf earlier. This sold for a total of $456.27 here. This one is the red version of the one you previously saw. This one actually was in really good condition. I didn't see any spots. There's the Hermes logo. There's the Hermes cashmere silk tag. And I think, actually, you know what? Nope, this one did have a little bit of staining too right here. If you ever happen to have some staining on any of these higher end scarves, definitely take a photo of it and point to it in some fashion. I use my gross finger right there. I was taking these weird photos of them all wrapped up. This is actually a horrible photo. This is a better photo, even though we got Jack, what is this, Jack Nicholas, I think, in the background. Anyways, I was kind of doing these last minute things together to throw this all together. So, like I said, we sold a pretty good amount of these Hermes scarves this month. There was a bunch of them that didn't make the top 10 list that were in the $200 to $300 range. So definitely, if you can find these, they're pretty much. I've never found these in the wild, but I'm sure they're out there. This is more like an estate sale item that you're definitely going to find. This was actually a really interesting pair of Nikes that came in, and I didn't meet the gentleman that donated them, but the ladies were saying that. Um, yeah, he was saying. I guess he was saying something about don't get excited. These aren't the super expensive ones, which I thought was pretty funny because these did sell for over $400. I guess there's two versions of this shoe. I talked to my brother-in-law, and I guess there's a version that says Nike Air on the back. I think he said Nike Air. The one without the Jumpman is the rare one, and these happen to be pretty rare shoes too. But the one with the Jumpman, which is this logo right here, this is the Jumpman logo right here, is the one that was mass produced, I guess. So these shoes were pretty much in near mint condition. This sold for a total of $465. This was a crazy it blows my mind the things people donate to the shop. I can imagine, what some of the other things that other thrift stores get across the country, especially just, when these random high-end shoes come in like this. These were incredible. I listed these right away. These sold on Christmas Day, and this was a good sale. So we're into our top three now. Number 3 brings us some flatware. As we can see here, this is a twig pattern. It's almost like, twigs molded. And I think, were these bronze, brass? Well, these aren't even silver, and these went for a crazy amount of money, but this is a whole set. I think they might be silver plated. I didn't list these, but this is from Paula from Stockton. This was a really good sale. And maybe they're just meant like to be like this. They look like they're plated, but they're not. They're just a really crazy design and a crazy set here. We sold some pretty good sets, flatware sets, previously in the year, so don't sleep on these, especially if you can find some of the vintage silver. I'm sure there's gold. I'm sure there's gold ones out there, but you want to look out for definitely silver plate. It's either hit and miss. I stay away from silver plate stuff, but anything sterling that's pretty solid, definitely pick that up. This sold for a total of $504.55. Is a really good sale. Paula was doing an amazing job this month over there in Stockton. If you're in Stockton, California, or in that area, definitely go and check out the American Cancer Society Discovery Shop that's in that area. All right, so we're into the top 2. This is number 2. This is the Row. This was a red calfskin leather tote handbag, and this thing was just it was described to me from another coworker as buttery. Whatever that butter, they said buttered leather. I've never heard of that before, but it's basically leather that is so soft that it really doesn't really keep a form. It just, if you set this down on its bottom, it just kind of melts. Like it was really high end. The Row, for anyone that doesn't know, is a fashion brand. They do accessories. It is pretty much a very high end brand, especially if you can find some of the rarer stuff that's brand new. They can go for big bucks. I wouldn't doubt if this purse, when it was new, this handbag, excuse me, was probably like almost a $2,000 purse. Anyways, but it had some wear to it. I rated it a 8 out of 10. I do that sometimes with the accessories that we have, because it's easier to describe if I was to grade this than to actually kind of go through all the different things that could have issues or anything like that. I try to use all 12 photos. This sold for a total of $519.99. It was a really, really good sale, and a really nice buttery. I'm gonna use that from now on if I ever come across this this type of leather, this buttery leather. The number 1 item is another handbag. We had a fashion month this month. This is a Goyard. You're not supposed to pronounce the D. And it's funny because I watched a video right before I did this video about the history of this particular brand, because I didn't know it too well. And that's one of the things too, when I find a new brand of something that's a bolo or a high-end fashion brand, I go dive into the history and all that kind of stuff, so I get a little bit firmer grasp of understanding of not only the brands, what to look out for, but kind of the history behind these brands. But so Goyard, This was a chevron canvas bag. This was pretty rare. I didn't see any comps for this bag anywhere. It did have a little bit of staining inside the middle, as we can see here. There was some like kind of, I don't know if that's ink or whatever, but even with the ink stain, I said racing stripe because that's pretty much what that is. I don't know why that's on there, but it is. This is a pretty rare bag, kind of like a um, almost like a legal kind of bag, or accordion bag kind of. But this was a chevron. That's what these the logo, the Goyard. I want to say Goyard because it's just so easy just to say Goyard, but it's like Goye or something like that. This is a really nice purse. This sold for a total of $653.49. This was our top selling item for December. We had an amazing December. But anyways, definitely look out for this brand. Of course, there's fakes out there for pretty much all the high-end brands, so know what you're looking for. I will say that over the course of a year of having this job, I can definitely spot a fake within 99% accuracy. I did have, I forget what I had. I had some, I think it was, no, it wasn't a Coach. Coach is really not high end anymore. It was a Louis Vuitton, and it pretty much looked real to me, and it wasn't. But so those are the things to look out for. But I learned a crazy amount about authenticating purses and things like that, and especially if you know the provenance. Basically, for those that don't know, provenance means basically the history of ownership. If you know the provenance of something, and if you knew who owned these bags, you would know these are legitimate bags, to go with the fact that these are high quality bags. And if you know where you're getting these stuff from, um, really no question about sometimes authenticity. This is a really high quality bag. Once again, I'm Chris, Thrift Shop Hustler. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish everyone a happy new year. Go down there, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and we'll see you next year. Take care.